Welcome to Morning Rush. Thank you so much for making us a part of your morning. Now it's almost time to leave the house to go to work, go to school, go for your errands, whatever it is that you need to do. It's time you are wrapping up whatever it is you're doing in the house. As of course, you wrap up with us and you continue to watch with us. Now, Zuri Africa Zimbabwe is holding a pageant on the 29th of October at the Talent Village. The Zimbabwe is going to be picking one contestant who will be representing the country at the Africa Grand Finale in South Africa in December. Now, we have been running a competition and here's a list of our winners on the screen. Congratulations to all of you. You have won tickets, VIP tickets to this pageant, and you will be part of the audience on the 29th of October. So just check your names real quick if you entered the competition, and you most importantly remembered to include the hashtags #MorningRush and #MyCultureMyPride. Now, we will of course be continuing with the competition, but for now these are the winners that we have from the past few weeks. Congratulations to all of them. Now, it's time for the bookworms, and you know what? We're catering to everybody. We're not just dealing with the adults. We're also dealing with our little people, because they also need to have a culture of reading. They need to enjoy books. So today I am joined by author Sabina Mutangadura Seldon, who specializes in writing for the little people. Hi, Sabina.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Why did you decide that I want to cater to this demographic?
I don't know. I think it's firstly because I enjoyed reading so much when I was a child. And actually, as an adult, I found myself reading children's books.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not crazy. Thank you.
Yeah. So they've got a lot of truths, even though they're, packaged small.
Right.
Yeah. And then when I had my first child, it just kind of...
It made sense.
Yeah, it just made sense for me.
How many do you have?
Children?
Yes.
I've got 3 children.
Do
My
you
oldest
sit down
is
and read with
11.
them?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. I've read it to them since they were little.
Oh,
yeah.
so they enjoy books as well.
Yeah, they do.
It's family time. It's bonding time. Let's read our books.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Now, Sabina is the author of the book Cape Robin Chat. And this book, tell us a little bit about it.
In terms of what the plot is?
Yes.
Okay, cool. It's about a robin who wakes up the morning, and basically he gets the sun to rise, or the morning to get going. He does this by leading the dawn chorus in his garden. So he gets all the birds up and they start singing. And then unfortunately one day a bird that's not part of the chorus joins in. And he's very discordant. Oh. Yeah, it breaks the harmony, and soon he and his cronies take over. Yeah, and so the story is about what Cape Robin Chat does to get rid of them. Yeah.
So basically, Cape Robin Chat is the sun's alarm clock.
Yeah, exactly. So he gets the morning up, and if the morning is happy with the song or with the sound, the sun rises. So when these bad birds, they're called the babblers, come, basically the morning doesn't want to get up and the sun refuses to shine. So
the sun is not having this.
Yeah, no,
this
he's
is
not.
my song. I'm not happy with this music at all.
Yeah.
Now, what was the thought process in putting this particular book together?
As in terms of the inspiration or the... Okay, so there's quite a lot of trees in my garden. And so in the morning, actually, the robin wakes us up. Yeah, so it was just looking at that, and we get a lot of babblers. So all the birds that are in the book are birds that we get in our garden.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. How long did it take you to write it?
So that's an interesting question because I didn't sit down and write it all at one go. Firstly, I went to do my master's, and that's where I started the story in my first semester.
Right.
But then with each semester, I was working on different projects, so I never came back to it. And then I had small kids. Then I had another baby, so kind of parked it and then picked it up again. I don't know, a while back. Yeah, and decided to work on it. So writing hasn't been a linear process for me.
Right. It's always been up and down.
Yeah.
And, with it being up and down, do you find during these gaps do you have moments where you go back and kind of think about what it is that you want to just maybe randomly have a reflection of it in your mind and think, I would like to do this or I'd like to do that, and just never get to it?
Actually, The way I think about writing is that it's not just the sitting down and, you know, typing out the story. For me, it's like the thinking about the story. It's a little bit like compost, you know. Yeah, stuff and ideas are composting. And then when you plant your plants, you know, you put the compost in or before. So I would say, yeah, even when I'm not writing or sitting at my computer, often I'll be thinking about my stories and, you know, think about ideas. Sometimes I do research. Yeah.
Now, I'm looking at, sorry, you see me flipping through it, and
Yeah.
it's because it's so beautifully illustrated. It's nice, it's bright, it's beautiful. You can tell it's for the little people, but it will capture your attention. And look at Robin's expression. Look at that. That feels like me every morning. Until I get on morning rush, this feels like me every morning. But as an adult, you know, as adults, we tend to lose our creativity. We lose our sense of humor, that childhood, innocent humor. How do you tap into your young side, your child, your inner child, and get to a point where you can actually put these books together?
Well, I suppose part of me has never grown up.
I love hearing that.
Yeah, and I think there's, you know, I think everyone's like that. It's just giving yourself permission. So creativity does it for me, being with my kids, just looking at life with wonder. Yeah.
So this was illustrated by Elizabeth. How did you find Elizabeth Spark?
So Elizabeth Spark is an illustrator based in South Africa, and I'm part of an organization called the Society of Children Book Writers and Illustrators, and she's also a member. So I just put it out on the group that I'm looking for an illustrator, and, you know, chatted to a few, and I liked her, her interpretation of the story best. Yeah.
Do you feel organizations such as the one that you're part of are an integral part to writing, especially when we're looking at content for children? What is the role that they play?
I think being part of a group is really important because writing is so solitary, you know. So I think it helps to be with other writers, people who are involved in creativity, but especially other writers. Here, I make sure that I stay in touch with other writers. We have a writing group, and, you know, we share ideas, share our stories, and then being part of SCBWI also helps. With them, it also helps with exposure and, you know, learning, because they've got workshops and conferences that they hold.
What are the lessons in this book for children who will read it?
Yeah, that's a good question. Because when you write, you want to have a moral, but you don't want to be preachy.
Yes.
So it has to be very subtle. And so I think I was trying to convey the importance of like how we go about conflict resolution, because it doesn't happen so easily for Cape Robin Chat, and he has to keep trying.
Right.
And so a lot of children, we do encounter conflict. And it's just a skill that we need to have. It's also a story about cooperation, because the birds have to work together to achieve a goal. But it's also a story about courtesy. You know, if you don't have courtesy or treat other people well, it's not going to work out well for you ultimately.
Sabina, thank you so much for joining us, and of course for catering to our favorite demographic of people, the younger ones. You can definitely get your hands on a copy of the book from Sabina. Sabina, very quickly, where do we find the book?
So you can get it from me directly, but you can also get it at Bottom Drawer. You can get it at the Book Lady. You can get it through Book Fanatics, that's in Zimbabwe. Beyond Zimbabwe, you can get it in Exclusive Books, Kirsten Bosch bookstore, and actually anywhere online, any major online bookstore around the world, I guess, and Amazon.